Hey guys, I've got the EverDrive out, along with this monstrosity here, the 32X, on my Model 1 Genesis, to show you this really cool tech demo for the 32X that was designed to really show off a 3D engine on the 32X, okay? So this is called Yeti3D, and we'll just load that in. Of course, it'll take a second or two to flash, and then hopefully the game will come up. This is something that I sort of just stumbled across when it was released, and I thought I would check it out, and I was really impressed with it. Now, like I said, I don't know all the details, and I'm not a programmer, so I'll try and explain this the best I can, but this is an engine that's been ported to the 32X by Chilly Willy. And Chilly Willy, as most of you know, is the guy that brought Wolf3D 3D over to the 32X. And he did a great job with that, so he obviously really knows what he's doing. Now, this was done to sort of prove what, a full 3D, full textured engine could do on the 32X. And you have to remember, games like Doom on the 32X, or games like Doom in general, aren't true 3D engines. Doom is not a true 3D game. It's not a true 3D engine. It uses a raycasting engine, which basically fakes 3D. So this is a true 3D engine, full polygon 3D engine, fully textured, as you can see, from roof to floor, and it's got some pretty good lighting in it too. I was quite impressed with the lighting. Now, from what I understand, this started off as a 3D engine or a tech demo on the Game Boy Advance. And that's probably the basis of this port, although there was also, I believe, a version of this on the iPhone. So as you can see, it runs at a really slow frame rate. It runs anywhere between 2 and maybe 7 at the most frames per second. And once again, I'm not a programmer, but what I've been told is that this was written completely in C language. Nothing's been written in assembly. Now, you can play this on an emulator if you guys are interested. I'm going to put the link to download this ROM file, and you can play that in an emulator. And I played it in Fusion, and it ran at a much faster frame rate in Fusion. I mean, it ran at like 30 frames per second. It was perfectly playable. And then I thought I would try it on real hardware. So, if you have a flash cart, anything that supports 32X, of course, you can play this on real hardware like we're doing here. And yeah, as you can see, the frame rate is so slow, it's borderline unplayable. Very hard to control because it's very, very slow. It gets really jerky at times. There's a few times I thought it actually just froze. There's like a couple of seconds of no movement, and then it finally started going again. But yeah, it's not optimized for the 32X. Must emphasize that. It's also running in a really low resolution. It's actually running in, I believe it's 120 lines of resolution, and then he's got like some sort of a code that doubles the lines, so it looks like it's 240 lines, but it's actually only 120 lines of resolution. But, like I said, this isn't optimized yet. Once it's optimized for the 32X, it should run faster, and then where it goes from there is where it's going to get interesting. How fast will it run, and what games are these going to lead to? I'm wondering if Quake is one of them. I've heard a few people talking about Quake on the 32X. So is that going to be based off this engine? I would assume so. But definitely a lot of potential. Like I said, it looks good. It looks really good. The lighting is really good. Lots of textures. It's definitely a good looking engine, and it could definitely make some good looking games on the 32X if they can get the speed up.